What's up everybody, it's AJ with etrailer.com. Today we're going to be checking out this Polymer Outrigger Pad from Buyers Products. Now what this is going to do is help increase the space of your footprint when you're using your stabilizer jack. You can see normally it would only be about this big around. With sitting on top of this pad, it increases all the weight on this pad pushing down. Just spreads it out and makes it a little more even, maybe on some uneven ground. What I mean by uneven ground is if, let's say, you're on loose dirt or loose gravel, that's coming down here, it's going to shift a little bit, especially if it's gravel. It might not sit flush. You might be a little off. This makes the footprint bigger overall. That way, all the pressure is still coming down on this pad, but it's giving it more of a footprint, more of a hold. Another instance to be good in, like let's say you set up camp with your rig overnight and it rains. It was nice, even ground when you started, but as you were sleeping, it rained, the ground got wet, and that smaller foot on your stabilizer jack just kind of went and sunk into the ground. So then it starts to get uneven, you come out the next day, that's a pain to deal with. This is going to make sure that footprint's bigger, that way it's not going to sink into the ground. These pads come in a couple different sizes. The one we're using today is 18 by 18, and it's also an inch thick. You can also get it an inch and a half thick, or you can get a bigger pad that comes in at 24 by 24, same options of inch thick or inch and a half thick. I've gone ahead and raised up our stabilizer jack. Just wanted to show you how the handle works. It's nice and sturdy. The handle's not going to come detached. It's actually inside there, so I can't even pull it out if I wanted to. The pad itself is heavier than I thought it was going to be, but it's not super heavy. I can lift it up with one hand and everything, but that just gives me confidence it's actually going to last. If you can hear it, it's not like it's hollow or anything. You can kind of hear how heavy it is, if that makes sense to you guys. It's made out of high density polyethylene, so it's going to hold up to all the elements and whatever you put on it. You probably see it on the campsite, people using scraps of wood to help them with this or level out their rig. It's really not a good option. That's going to absorb a bunch of moisture and rot over time and, you know, fall apart while you're using them, and you don't want that when you got heavy stuff on there. Plus, you can't use those blocks on heavy rigs like a crane or a backhoe or anything that heavy. They're just going to break, especially if they've absorbed water already. This is going to hold up for all those instances. Now, it came out by some looser gravel. You can see how easily this moves around. So if somebody just drives through, it's going to disrupt it and move it around. You come here, you want to set up camp, you know, you're going to set down. It's just going to shift and move under the weight of your camper. Even if it's only a little bit of the weight that's put on there, it's going to cause problems. So we just throw our pad down. You can see the bigger footprint like I've been talking about. Now it's a nice even step. I can't get it to move. It's not shifting underneath anymore. It just gives you all that weight would be coming down right here and be just fine. So all in all, I think it does its job pretty good. I was impressed. I liked that whole thing of the bigger footprint. Really, even seeing it on this gravel here, it held up, made it way sturdier than it would be if it was just your normal stabilizer jack coming down. Plus, you know, heavy equipment, it's going to help protect the concrete. When you're parked on the concrete, all that pressure come down, it could crack a driveway or something like that. You could throw this under there, that helps protect it. So whatever you're going to use it for, I think it's going to work just fine. That does it for our look at this Outrigger Pad from Buyers. I hope this helped.